Pog. Are you guys all pogged? Pogged out of your gourds? Alright, so... it's a bit too loud for my taste. Yeah, so what have we done so far? We have one with North Korea, with one with ANZAC in the first stream, part 1. And then part 2 we won with USA, Canada, Czechoslovakia and Poland. Right, I forgot about Poland nearly. 4 decks in one stream. It was really good. So what are we gonna do today first? I would say let's tackle one of the Scandi nations. And I want to tackle specifically Sweden. We have a Swedish deck, but we're gonna do a new one, that's for sure. Alrighty. Let me open something real quick. Alright. Sweden it is. The nice thing about Sweden, but Scandi as well, is this thing. It's a really nice command vehicle, it has good armor. You get 5 per card in Scandinavia as well. About 15 seconds. Let me check. Let's see. Let me check. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Let me check. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's more like 8 seconds. If you went by the little villain went offline message, I think that might be a bit delayed. So yeah, we have this S-tier, this strip vehicle 90. Like I said, very good command vehicle. It's armored. You have 5 per card, which is great. Base availability is 4 per card, but it's more prototype, so you only get it in Scandi and Sweden, and since both of these decks have a substantial availability bonus, you always get 5 per card, so that's very good. Obviously doesn't hold a candle to the Artillerie, but that's a bit unfair to compare to because it's DLC. Gun is of course a dummy, but honestly that is potentially preferred, because if it had a proper gun, it would be nice for base defense, but at the same time it would increase its cost and potentially also reduce the availability. And since we don't need another CV with high availability, we can easily take an infantry CV, which is also 4 per card instead of 3 per card. I'm gonna put him in a command hero for now. I might want to put him in the XA instead. We will see. 20 point supply trucks and the fob, fairly usual. You could even run 2 fobs because you have a lot of supply heavy artillery, but that is more of a meme. While it certainly can work, I would not necessarily advise doing so, because losing 150 points in the opener just to units that take a long time, to units that take a long time for you to get value out of, could be rough. But I have to say though, if you have the activation points and you really want to play Sweden, you could put in 2 fobs. And on maps that are relatively, stalematey, etc., where losing a bit of ground in the opener isn't a big deal, then you could opt in actually buying the second fob and just leave the second fob out in other games. That's a very big brain strategy. Infantry, your line infantry isn't so great, but you have some nice elite options with the Kustjäger. Now here's the thing, do you want them in the HKP 3C or the 4C? The 4C is obviously faster, but it's also bigger and takes much longer to unload, and it's more expensive. On the amphibiable, the Stolly. Okay, let's just call it a Stolly because that's what it is. I'm actually kind of want to win helicopter, honestly, because for ground infantry we get Nordlandsjägare that for some reason get the TGB with, which is honestly a really strong combination. I might actually potentially take even 2 cards of them. Next, I will probably take a card of Panzer. I think I'll definitely want a card of these in the 10-point transport, because that's the cheapest infantry you get. You don't get a 5-point transport, a tracked 5-point transport in Scandinavia, and your cheapest infantry is 15 points. So that's one, probably the most annoying thing of this deck, is that your cheapest 10-man infantry, outside of the garbage reservists, are these Panzerskytte, or Panzerskytte 90. That is really annoying. RBS 56, you could also put them in a wheel transport. Oh, I forgot about it, but at least I remember at this point. Someone mentioned that I should, while building the deck, turn this thingy off. So please, if I don't turn it on after building the deck, remind me. Also in a wheel transport, but I still like the combination in the SRF, even if it's a bit slow. And for our last activation point, what do we want? Could get in just Panzerskytte in the SRF to get a cheap card of SRFs, but I don't think that's necessary, and I'll tell you in a bit why. Could take a card of Nordlandsjägare or a card of Kustjägare 90 in a wheel transport. Or, and I think that's what I'm gonna do, manpads in an STRF. I'm probably not gonna buy them too much, which is why I'm fine with only having 5. I think that it's a nice package as well, right? It somewhat protects you against helicopters, but also like against ground vehicles, and even the SRF against like rocket bot helicopters is still very formidable. Now, I might want to downward those, but I'm not 100% certain on that just yet. Support tab. So basically, you have a choice between Beacon or Amos, and because running both, if you're only running one fob, is just suicide. Because they're both so supply heavy that even using a single beacon or just your own kind of Amos will easily drain your fob unless you buy those units very late. Personally, I prefer the beacon. You get 3 downwetted in Sweden National, that's hilarious. So since you're only using, or you should only really use 1, unless again you run 2 fobs, you might want to think that you want to upwet it, but you might not actually want to do that. Because with that high rate of fire you get, while when it's upweighted, sure, you can just keep one relatively small area completely pinned down and do some real good damage on it. But sometimes you also don't want it to be that accurate and blast a bigger area, especially when you don't know exactly where the units of your opponent are. So both choices are very valid. And I think in my Scandi deck I run it upweighted, but these days I think running it downweighted might be better, because sometimes against US or something, when they snipe it with a Nighthawk, especially early on, that could really hurt you, because the beacon or the Amos, but they're both these days very important to Scandinavia, and quite a big part of the strategy. So that's why I'm gonna run down with it, even though I'll most likely never buy 3 of them. Next, LVKV. 8 per card is enough, but this is a very crucial unit, and I had a love and hate relationship with it in the past, but you just gotta think, okay, as to why. It is pretty weak. For 50 points, if you just look at its SPAG capabilities, meaning shooting at helicopters and planes, it is not worth 50 points. But that's when you have to take into account that it can shoot at ground units as well. And not only can you do that, but compared to the STRF, you lose 1 AP, but you have a significantly higher rate of fire. And this is not just ammo usage, I'm talking true rate of fire. Not like the fake thing when in reality they're the same, no. The LVKV does have a significantly higher rate of fire, twice the suppression for its HE gun, and a significantly higher suppression radius as well. Meaning that even if you would roll a miss with your HE gun, you're still gonna suppress them or suppress nearby units as well. And that is really, really, really nice. That's actually a very good comparison. Someone mentioned that it just takes the place of a dual PGC-AD, and kind of, yes. PTC-8 is a similar unit that both defends you against air units, specifically helicopters, but can also really mess up ground units. The advantage of the LVKV, of course, is for when it has AP rounds, and 2, it has significantly higher range. So yeah, don't expect a single LVKV to do as much as a single Gepard could do in terms of killing planes and helicopters. Think of it as getting a cheap spec with good range and some fire support on top of it in one single unit. RBS-9 is kind of a must, even if it is very inconsistent and can really be frustrating, but there are also times when it is just God, doing God's work. And then lastly, just a cheap hawk, because what else? And, oh yes, I think I still want the Amos actually, just simply for its smoke. But I'm trying to not use it as much, offensively speaking. So yeah, this is gonna be our support tab. Tank tab, not really much to choose from. I think one card of 3 SCRV 1-to-1s is enough. 103D is kind of a must because it's his next heaviest tank you get. No stabilizer. But it's, yeah. And then SCRV 105 I think is a solid choice as well. It doesn't have medium optic, but it's a solid gun. It's affordable at least. And the rest, you can maybe, some people like to do, I've seen try to do some memes with the 103B in the forest with a crazy rate of fire and then AP scaling thanks to kinetic, of course. Just personally, it's just, especially these days, not very easy to do, because without a stabilizer, without a turret, it has to stand still, aim, and then shoot. And you might, even if you get one shot off, you won't be able to sustain a 15 RPM against enemy tanks because they will just reverse, right? Which doesn't mean that they're useless, but for these kind of memes, they're just inconsistent, because that only really works if they reverse out in the open, and then you can keep standing still. Here's not much to choose from. Recon helicopter, just a card of recon infantry in a helicopter, because why not? Ground transport, obvious, and then just this thing for some recon that can at least fire at something. Whether it'll hit or not is obviously a different discussion. Because you can try to do some memes with the IKV 103. It's kind of cute. It's not too horrible, I guess, but it doesn't have an MG and it's very horrible accuracy. It has some good range, and 3 HE with 7 RPM isn't too bad for 10 points, but again, it's mostly the accuracy that kills it. Heat isn't too great either, but it's really mainly the accuracy. Yeah, the autonomy is still usable. I'm gonna put it in for now. Maybe we have the activation points, and the rest is not really worth doing. As great as the ATGM is on infantry, it is not good on vehicles, because you're in tank range, right? And then you're just gonna get popped one shot once you got hit. And you can't keep them in like bushes either very much, since they have no armor. ITAL, so that's a usable helicopter. Isn't that just a German bow? I think it might be. Planes, you have the Gripen, those are probably the 2 most common ASFs, or I guess the only real ASFs that you get. Both certainly very viable. The Vigan on Elite, of course, being kind of like a Mirage 1000 F16A Block 15 kind of unit, and the Gripen is more like a worse F16 Block 52. The unfortunate thing here is just that the AIM-9Ls have only 4 HE. So that's sometimes an awkward combination when you get one hit with each missile and don't kill the plane, and then you have to get into gun range or hope another missile hits. Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate. Before we choose our ASF, I'm gonna put in the other planes that I want, and that is the Cluster Vigan and the ATGM Vigan on Elite, because on the train it doesn't hit anything, but on Elite it's kind of like a pseudo Peace Shrine. And we can try to put in a Helo Hunter. I really want to put in this because of these janky as rockets. I want to see how well they work. And it's very cheap, so I guess there's that. And last but not least, someone said 37 rules, so we're gonna put the 37 Vigan. SK60B is absolute trash. It used to be God tier, when these missiles were fire and forget and treated like laser guided bombs, meaning they always hit top armor with 100% accuracy, but they don't. They're now semi-active with, I guess, okay accuracy, and they hit front armor. So against anything that is infantry or has more than 3 armor, this is mostly useless. So let's order our air tab to my preferences. Mainly it's just that I like to have my ASF in the very first spot, or my ASFs in the first spots. That's my main thing. So 2 points left. Not enough points for FOB, although we could remove the IKV. Someone asked about recoilless rifle jeeps. I just don't like them. They're not garbage or anything, I guess. But the thing is also, these days you find so many like decks that have cheap autocannons, cheap recon vehicles that can fire at you, and these recon vehicles will just get popped instantly without getting any damage done. The IKV can at least survive a shot or two or something, or survive long enough to aim at least. The recon jeeps cannot, the recoilless rifle jeeps. They have less range as well. I mean, they are wheeled, which is nice, but it's just... Some people like them, and some people can make them work, but I'm not a fan at all. So just for the memes of it, we're gonna remove the IKV 103. And if I feel it works on the map, I will start with 2 FOBs. So this is our deck. I thought about the Norlandsjäger, right? I think I'll keep them updated for now. And we just hope we have lots of opportunities to use our fire support for killing infantry. And yeah, let's put this thing back on. Yes, there's the other rocket pod helo that I also considered for a second, but like Alfonso said, it has less air-to-air rockets. This thing, right? I also considered that, but again, you have 20 and here you have 10. That's obviously a big no-no. Of course, this is well, it kind of depends on how consistent these rockets are. Because I have no clue. If 10 tend to be enough, then this would probably be the better choice. But I just honestly don't know because I never, or very rarely use these planes. Let me actually also check how much you get and at which veterancy. We get 3 on elite versus 4 on elite, which is also something to consider. Not the US battle group. Sweden, 1 versus 1. Let's go. Also, I'll be back in just a second. Yeah, these planes with like those low HE anti-plane rocket pods, they are certainly interesting, but my favorite one is still the Yugo one. No, not that one, this one, because that one can target can also target ground units, it's kind of hilarious. I have this weirdest thing with napalm rocket pods as well. That clearly used... Those are probably the 6 individual napalm rocket pods, and I just use these... reuse these pods that carry the 4 rockets. Thanks, Eugen. I like it cause the weapon is smiling. That's true. Okay, how many? It's time to do some autism again and count the individual holes in these rocket pods. 1, 2, 3, 7. So it's 14. That's 8, 9. It's 19 per rocket pod, right? No, yes, it's 19 per rocket pod, and 19 on the other side. And this says it has 24. Eugen, what are you doing? Unless these 6 individuals, which carry 4 each, correspond to the 24 Hydra rocket pods, and these 2 big ones, for some reason, carry 3 each. That also doesn't make any sense, Eugen. Well, I'm gonna quickly check something. This thing here. Also sidebar setup. So great out flags are the ones that I have won with. Only a matter of hours until I find a ranked game. Do you enjoy the new Baldur's Gate? Yeah. It's just quite. I mean, it's early access, but yeah, it's a bit buggy. It doesn't run too great. Overall, I'm having a good time though. What's with the in-game name of Jamilton? Hold up, let me see if I can find a specific Jamilton. It's a meme. It's a meme. There we go, hold up. Let's hope I don't get... Okay.
Holy shit, what the fuck was that?
Hello? Pronto? Jamilton? It's spinner time.
Lucio forced him into errors.
Oh, lock up from Lewis Hamilton goes on into the runoff area.
That's literally all there is to it. It's a Jamilton. It's fake Italian accent saying Hamilton. Hamilton. That's all there is to it. Oh, I'm still searching! Pronto. Jamilton. It's spinner time. Come on. Okay, there was at least one ranked match. Like one. Hey, little villain, I see you online. How about you search ranked, huh? 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 I see you. You and your F1 garbage. Is this a personal attack or something? First of all, I can hear you. I know you can hear me. Yes, why would you personally attack me like that then? This is pretty rude. Why not Putin? Because I'm playing Garbage Nation. No, not a Garbage Nation, but I'm playing a single nation. Alrighty then. Oh! Pronto? Alright, so I guess we have to start with two films. We have to start with two films, don't we? He's not stream sniping, he's not stream sniping, he's a friend of mine. Okay. There's two options. Option 1, he's playing USA. Option 2, he's playing Scandinavia. Whatever the case is, we're gonna start with 3 LVKVs. At least 1-1-2-1. And take a bit for the town. I'm gonna start with one of these because unless he runs RBS 90, you won't really have anything to defend against that thing. Actually, instead of the RBS, I think I'm gonna get a Draken. Gonna get one of you at least. We have some recon. I don't think I can afford buying one of these Reflective Forest because since I start with 2 fobs, it's very... Hold on. Watch the road for LRM, that's a good point. What the fuck? Okay, let's just get... Yeah, one sec. I wish it were feed picks that I got. Just kidding. Do we need more infantry? Do we need more infantry? What do we need? It's not a lot of infantry. I think we need more infantry. Just get some of these because they're cheap. Let's get like another RBS because it's good. Then we're gonna save these points. Okay. Actually, no, we have nothing for the left side. Let's. Whoopsie. Sorry. Minute mobile phone 1 hour. Let's just get one of you on the left side. Okay. Ready. Sorry, mine completes. Oh, that's not GHF. That's what I meant. GHF. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay. First, I just had the bug where you couldn't deselect your units. So that was. I mean, clearly I could deselect them, but like not in the usual manner. That was not great. Oh, Hugo. Oh, how fancy. Let's go for those MS-17s. Oh, that's not very. Not nice. We're gonna have to say we're gonna have to can't just drive with them in. You have to wait for our AA. If you like it or not, let's get the Amos. Should not have unloaded them just yet. Ooh, Parprati, no! But look at my SR LVKVs go. I have no smoke cover, but he's also clearly not. Ooh, RBS got this armor. That's nice. Does he not have any tanks? No tonks? Oh, there is his tonk. Oh, 84As. Oh no, don't go for my LVKVs. He's kill my infantry, sure, whatever. It's not great so far, but not horrible either. Get to the side so you're not blocking the road. Not doing, yeah, it's not doing great against the area units, but honestly, it was doing pretty good against the infantry in the town there. Hey, leave my Struff alone. Yeah, that's, yeah, like I said, against the MS-17s, they weren't really that exciting. That is very much correct. I very much agree with that. Fire a bit in there while we're just doing nothing with the Amos. Should probably split them up a bit. Also, he might not have any additional AA left since we killed this you know what I mean. Oof. Oh, and my smoke. No, my smoke's running out. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Just look at those specialities go. Ah, saved. 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 You're in cover again, you're in cover again. Oh, you're gonna have a bad time in there with the infantry now. It's 180 for Aegon. This is never or Kub back there? Probably never. Beacon time, beacon time. Okay, we're looking good. You see how that LVKV just completely wrecked his infantry in there, even though barely any of my infantry got in there. Like, it's not great again, it's not, especially on its own, or even in a stack of 3. It's not that great. It's, again, like you saw, it's not too great against aerial target, but against ground vehicles, oh boy. So I think what you have to see more, it's like quite literally just it's really a support unit. I mean, yeah, it's a supporter, but like in the supporter, usually all units are either artillery or anti-air. LVKV isn't really as much as that, right? It does multiple things at once. It deters, I guess is the proper way to say it, aerial units. It deals with light vehicles. It deals with infantry. It's so nice. And I wish there were a couple more units like that. It doesn't have to be many because this is kind of unique. But like, you know, some units here and there that are like that wouldn't be too bad. Yes, I think we should get some more of you. Probably another one here on this side, just in case he decides to do some stuff there. Hey, salty yet? There. Repair the LVKV. Also, nice thing here, it can tank some shots as well, as you see, right? It clearly hit something, or... Oh boy, what did I just kill? Oh, did we lose our heavy AA after we did not move it? Sorry, this is... I told him I'd start talking to him like that. It's something that you wouldn't understand. See, it can tank a fucking M84A shot. Maybe not 2, but at least 1. Nice unit. Oh, this is surrender incoming. Oh, our beacon is not next to a farm. That's a Golem. I mean, I don't care really. Oh, let's see the Draken in action. Oh, it shot 1 rocket, dude. 1. Oh, it killed it. It's all it needed. All it. It finished it up. It's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. Oh, and you forgot to smoke. Ooh, no, never. No, never. Is it gonna give him up? Oh, that's not a sign. How? Oh, there it is. Okay, right click on the Never and then shift there and shift there. So that means if you lose line of sight on this or dies, my plane will go for the M84A. And if it happens to the 84A, it will go for the other 84A. And he's gonna surrender in 3, 2. No, just kidding. I think we just killed. Did we just kill 84A or did we only level up because we did that damage? It could also have happened. Oh, we're out of ammo. Great. Let's get some supply. Let's get ACV. Let's get. Oh, we have some defenses there. We don't have anything. Oh, we have this to deal with. The T-55 though. Actually, we should probably get a C for Charlie first. Smartass. Let's destroy his mortar. You drive in there. We're gonna get an infantry C for that area. Also some more. We got supply on the way already, actually. Oh hell yeah! He killed my SRF with his T-55. Not very nice. Wow, look at this fucking minigun on an 8 HP helo that fired first, FYI. Loses against the double Browning here. The double Browning is so strong. It's unbelievable. Oh, and I hit his 60 PPs just driving by. That's nice, isn't it? OP tactic. Put you in cover. It's a very OP tactic. Let's go for the head. It's only 2 HP. We have to hit with only 1 rocket, okay? Actually, just get you out of range. I don't want you to shoot at it. I want the Draken to kill it. No, turn off, turn off. And I got killed by his L19, okay. Well, that was worth it. It's all for the, you know, cinematics. The Dragon is good anti-helo. It's inconsistent. I think you saw the... I think a good anti-helo plane would be one that can consistently deal with at least like an Mi-17 that is not moving towards you. Because that can sometimes, or that will shorten the time that you can fire at it, right? Because it's flying towards you, and thus the time that there's space between you and the helo is shorter. One that can consistently kill one, and in the one run at the start, it wasn't able to consistently kill that Mi-17. Or it wasn't able to do it. Maybe it was an outlier, but the jury is still out on whether it's a good one or not. Let me put it that way. Lost a recon helo there, which is unfortunate. Smoking there, so let's fire a bit in there because we can. And you already used, it's like what, 3,500 here? 1.8 thousand here. Let's plummet. It's not that effective, only word. Did I not buy RBS 56 for the town there? Oh, that's an L19, I think. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, that's a bomber. Oh, he's going for my beacon. wasn't even able to fire the rockets. But I dealt some damage with the gun. Oh, I killed it! Hell yeah! What was that angle? Let's turn on the MG. GG. Happy hands. Oh no, he's not a 10 colonel anymore. RIP. It was quite a stomp. Dragon killed him in 29. The other dragon is super gallop. Oh baby. Vegan. Very nice. What is next? That is a good question. Oh, yeah, I did get a Flamen. Very nice, very nice. Okay, now it's time to... One second, guys. Let's update the graphic. Aim over. Sweden, 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 Sweden. Does it work? Does it work? It does. Okay, what's next? What's next? So let's probably do something red. Oh, hotfix number 2 for multiplayer sound. Interesting. The song is from Hades. So we have East Germany, Yugoslavia, Finland, USSR, China. I would say let's get out another powerhouse and it's the USSR. I already have a USSR one, like a deck with the name USSR and the 1v1 tag, right? I do. Strim. To take that away and let's get USSR. Okay, so USSR is a. I'm certainly not an expert by any means, but I think I'm able to pilot it decently. The nice thing about USSR is, of course, compared to coalitions, you get that sweet 60 activation points. And you still get a 10% availability bonus, which is also honestly kind of nice. In terms of CVs, the CVs are really surprisingly, there's nothing really too great. TADUK is of course kind of unique, being by far the strongest in terms of like raw stats. Tank CV there is there. But outside of that, there's nothing. I mean, you get some nice transport God bless with the K29 and the MTV for your infantry CV. And really, outside of that, yeah, I mean, I guess the T72 CV is kind of nice because compared to the Eastern Bloc ones, you only pay 150 points because on the Eastern Bloc ones you get some bit more stats, but you don't really care about that. Yeah. So usually what you say some people do is run this setup. I think I have that in my 1v1 deck as well. There's certainly some situations for having a TADUK is really nice. I guess we're just gonna run it because we can. And then of course Supply Dragon Fob, because this is a supply heavy deck as well. Infantry type is another different thing. In the past, you've seen people always put in the BMP3, but that unit has really fallen out of favor. It is still viable, it's still fine, but it is relatively niche. It's also expensive, it comes with not so great infantry. VDV, of course, VDV are still have all, well, most, probably always really been great, if not amazing. They have some really nice transport options with the Scratchets or just a good 5-pointer. It's not like Zelda or M113A3 level, but it's still above average for sure with 2 front armor and a high rate of fire. It's just mainly lacking the range that something like Brownings have, but it does have a higher rate of fire than those weapons. The BMD line is kind of a mixed bag. It can be nice to put them in there, especially if should you be playing Airborne, which Soviet Airborne actually is. I mean, it's viable in a not so cancer way. It's still kind of cancer if you want to call it cancer. Like you're still gonna pilot a lot of helicopters. You're gonna do some sniping AA with 25T and all that jazz. But it is you can actually grind on the ground fairly well because you have VDV on high veterancy with some good ground transport options, and you have some like these on elite or like the BMD3 on elite. Don't underestimate them. Spetsnaz are kind of a meme. If you're playing it, if you know beforehand what map you're on, and the map has a lot of town fights, then it can certainly be viable to pick out of these in. Outside of that, they're just too niche and expensive. Sabre 85 are just overshadowed by Sabre because all you buy Sabre for is the BTRT. And in that case, you just want an infantry squad with as much HP as possible, and it's a Sabre, and the Sabre 85 just have 5 HP instead. Two squads of VDV was killed by 3 Dragoners. Well, it depends on the situation, and I'm pretty sure Dragoners will do jack shit to something like BMPT or something, which BDV won't. Plus the RPK-74 is still a very good MG. It's obviously not mini-me level, but it's still very good. And they have, I would say, probably the second best launcher on any shock squad. Probably only the Eric's is better. Just off the top of my dome piece. Like what else is there, right? Yeah, I mean you get like the Strilchen, whatever the Proletariat 90 have, which has 24 AP, but only 700 meter range, less accuracy, obviously 20 RPM, but honestly the 70% accuracy on those 24 AP and 875 meter range is just so good. So good. That extra 175 meter over, let's say, Panzergrenze 90, that is so noticeable. So noticeable. Such a big deal, unironically. In any case, Gonostryke 90, honestly, I find him a bit underrated. Yes, for 30 points you get a regular infantry squad with just basic MG and basic assault rifle. And you only come in helicopters, so they are by nature expensive. But just having 10 HP, sitting in a town at 1500 meter range with 26 AP can be, for some decks, be very tough to deal with. It's just that they are very expensive. How about you build a deck? Yes, you're right. Okay. Let's do must-haves first. We want a BTRT. Okay, here's the thing. Do you want Factoria or Conquer Sim? I think I'm gonna go for Conquer Sim for now. We want some VDV. We could take like 2 guards in the VDV in this VDV in the Scratchet, or like 1 in the Scratchet and 1 in the BTRD. I think is also nice. Gorno in BTR 90 was honestly just cancerous. And last but not least, we could take something like Scratchets and Iglas. It's a nice combination. What I like though is actually more Sky Pechota and the BTR 88 for town fighting. I think I'm even gonna up with them, which I usually don't do, I think. Like this, like that. Artillery, probably the best choice here is the Jurgen if you want to run one card. It's just so much more versatile than the Buratino is. You have also a lot of options. You have to keep in mind that you have Scratchets, right? So very often they will deal 1 or even a bit more damage to aerial units, so they can sometimes just do that extra bit of damage so that your Tor or your Osa can finish them off with their 7 HP. Or the Pokemon with their 9 HP. I'm gonna run the Vasilek. I haven't run it in a while. I ran the Podnos in the past, but like the rate of fire on the Vasilek is honestly kind of nice, even if you pay a premium for it. It's just a lot of options. I like running a base Osa. Osa AKM is solid, AK is solid, Tor is solid, Pokemon is solid, Tunguska is also solid. I think I want to run a Tunguska, and I think this is my A setup in my other deck as well. So let's try that setup. Tanks. I'm gonna be a bit more traditional than some other people. Maybe I'm gonna run the BU. I'm gonna run the OBR 89. Oops, 1 card. Actually, no, I'm gonna run the T64BV. And then the T72B. And a card of T80. It's fairly standard, kind of. It's very conservative, I would say. K52. I'm gonna down-vet. I'm gonna up-vet it, I think. Guru, 2 cards in BT90 is what I like. Svetkan, the MTV. And I think that's all I think sometimes I put in the BRDM3, so let's put it in there for now. So just to have like a cheap option. BMPT is obviously a must, it's just so good. I'm not sure if I will have the activation points. VP. I like to run the Akula for the memes. It's honestly not a... I wouldn't suggest anyone else to do it, but I just like running it. Because it's a fun helicopter. And it's so easy to lose, but who cares. 27M you obviously want. You want an ASF. Some people like the Yak, some people don't. It can be inconsistent at times, that's for sure. But I think it's more consistent in the MiG-25 PD. I'm gonna run the 25T even though I tend not to because I'm not very experienced with running it. Maybe I can show it off, and that's all that I have space for, huh? I think I'm gonna lead a recon card here to fit in another plane. And what is the plane going to be? I could put in a Helo Hunter. I could put in a seaplane. I'm gonna put in a seaplane. No T-72A, it's actually very good. That's a very, very, very good point actually. It's very nice for the cheap 13-hour and medium optics. Very nice combination. You know what? Yeah, let's put it in instead of the T80. Now with 2 points left, we can put in something in the vehicle tab. The SU-122, even though it got nerfed from 5 to 4 AG, is still a viable option. I'm not a huge fan of the Afghansky because of its low salvo length. So it's not comparable to a CS. Jalo is kind of a meme, but I have a soft spot for it. You know what, let's put in the Jalo, why not? We don't have a BRDM3 anymore, so we have some weird medium optics for 30 points. It's fallen kind of out of favor. Also because we have to go up against so many AMX 10s. So, and AMX 10s will just shit on Jalos. So let's try it out. Oh lord, he coming. Either setting up for that snipe, is he? He might be. We're talking ranked lobby. Who did we get? Did we get Putin? We did, and he's playing Redfor. This could be a Soviet mirror match. Last time we had a Soviet mirror match, I actually won. Strongest infantry card? Question mark. It depends. It depends a lot. Like, what does your other infantry do? What does your other unit tabs look like? You know, what kind of recon, what kind of helicopters, what kind of tanks you have. You know, so it depends. I don't know about the strongest infantry cards. What would be my strongest infantry card? I could tell you my favorite one, but I think that's not necessarily what you're asking. In my opinion, strongest infantry card. I'm playing Soviets. He might be playing Czech. He likes playing Czechs. Maybe Red Dragons. I don't think he's playing Entente Baltic. Also playing Czechs, Eastern Bloc, or Red Dragons, I guess is the only thing left. Let me think. Like, honestly, VDB-19 and Scratched are definitely up there. Panzer Yakarin KT would also be up there. Your carry 9 in, oh, well, maybe not. Yeah, the carry 9 in the BTR 50 could also be up there. Commandos 9 in the Aslav. Legion 9 in the VAP T20. Fallschirmjäger in the XA. Fallschirmjäger 90s. Stormer 9 in the CV90. It's hard to say. I'm not. Royden recover. Also Modschützen, no. Oh yeah, Modschützen, the old BMP1, yes. Oh, I miss those, man. Ah, my favorite card, or my favorite infantry, I should say, is still the LSTR 40. You heard how much of a hard-on I have for the Vampire, and guess what? LSTR 40 used the Vampire, right? Shouldn't be a surprise then that I have a hard-on for the LSTR 40 as well. So it's not playing Soviets, huh? Like I said, I think he would be playing Czech in that scenario. Okay, let's get like some wild rosas, even though they're not called rosas, but I just imagine like a Spanish H in front of them. Rosa. I'm sorry. And some Morskaya for the town because we're pushing this. They're gonna have a lot of holding power. We're gonna get an MTV just for the MTV as well. Probably look at like 1 BV might be a bit too much. You got some crash hits for sure. Faux show. Meter 90 with Gru. Also very good. 15 points left. Maybe the BV is a bit too much. Maybe a B, T72B is enough. Maybe just some T72As even. Well, let's get some T72As instead. 25 points. I don't think we can really do anything. Guess we're just gonna save them. I mean, Jesus, our cheapest unit is 30 points, I think. VDV90 in the OSA. It's the cheapest thing we get. And just Shadow as well. I guess we get a supply drug for 20 points, I guess. Okay. Strap 2 gonna teach you some respect. Ah, hell no. Okay. GLHF. If I had to guess, he might be doing something in Ivan. But sometimes he also just likes to defend heavily on Dimitri and then do some stuff there. But I think in general he likes to take openings relatively slowly. I haven't played a lot versus him in a while though. Just some matches here and there. I'm gonna try to unload you there. It is China. He has a T190. Is it a T190 or is it a C9A? Oh, it's a T190. It is a T190. Interesting. Ooh, flyback. One shoot the C9A. No, not that one. The other one. What a weird opener this was. Get a mortar. There you go. What a weird opener this was. Well, we didn't really get slowed down in our ground push. I definitely could have kept that thing alive. The oh wow, it's actually Use the WZ down. That's dope. That's actually dope. But also gonna be his downfall. Okay, yeah, he's doing some push there. Like I kind of expected. Okay, it should be interesting. But, oh, those CD. Yes, this is cool. This is cool. They're a fun little unit. Get a CV. It's 2 pointers, so the early tick is actually quite important. Or rather, the opponent getting an early tick is quite important. Oh, what a shame! Your rocket pod, No, I have to reload with my rocket pods. No, that's not what's supposed to happen. That's not what's supposed to happen there. I'm playing this horribly, in case you haven't noticed yourself already. And those are Legion. Or Legion 90 even. Legion base. Let's get you back to the farm. Get like T-70 to be there. Back line of sight, no! Oh yeah, just keep driving. It's also fine. Actually just smoke this. Some VDV for this area. Got a Congress ammo to this town. Let's just keep modding this for now. It's a J7. What, he spotted that shit? I was hoping the CTQ would not get another shot on it. Oh, the CTQ in there. Wait, how can he spot me? Stop spotting me. Excuse me? Oh, that's how. Oh yeah, just get out of the building with your infantry. Very nice, thank you. Right, I forgot about these things, fucking BTRTs. Actually, no, let's keep you alive. Could be China, very much. Could be Moto, I think so too. No, it's not Moto, this is on normal veterancy. So it's China or a Dragon's Unspec. Yeah, I also actually thought about getting a Sabine Center here. Honestly, I'm not gonna care about this side at all. I'm just gonna keep pushing into Anna. Screw that. Of course, I'm having AA there is annoying. Well, not my VDV. Okay, they're not going for that. Make sure to turn your front armor. Okay, it's good enough, I guess. Set is D. It'll be annoying. It's gonna be detecting my Razvetka probably. Can you shoot at that thing, please? You're detected. I lost my mortar earlier. Let's try, it's just a CTC-80 there. I forgot. Okay, we need some heavy A there.
Противотанковый взвод готов, сэр. Мы устроим там наблюдательный пункт.
Let's get another conquer squad there. It's gonna be useful. We supply those VDV.
Орудия заряжены.
Another J7. Pain train. You're not firing. Okay, that's very cool. Okay, you survived this. That's good. That's good. Smoke this off from his tank there. Get the Spetsnaz crew squad. Get like a BTRT for this forest.
Разведчики готовы, сэр. К вашим услугам, сэр.
Really? Oh, I told him to move back there and then he got briefly line of sight. That's a horrible tank loss. And he's spotting this. Did I kill something with that or how?
Ждем новых приказаний, сэр. Кто такси заказывал?
Don't take that road, please.
Мы торопимся. Подвезти? Мы торопимся. Выдвигайся, сэр.
Just keep driving, just keep driving. Another J7.
Кого вам надо отвезти?
Bruh. Get that at least.
Как прикажете? Отправляемся. Заводи мотор.
You know what, let's get a BU.
Кого вам надо отвезти? Отправляемся. Заводи мотор. Какие будут приказания, сэр? Кто такси заказывал? Подвезти? Ждем новых приказаний, сэр. Есть приказание, сэр?
A lot of range. I really underestimated that range.
Кто такси заказывал? Мы готовы, сэр. Если мы можем попасть во врага, то и он сможет.
Turn you off for now.
Противотанковый взвод.
Let's give you a supply truck just in case. I don't want you to run out of ammo later and then be angry about it and like not be able to kill something that I would have been able to kill otherwise and shit like that. I'd get quite salty. Put like a smoke cloud in this area. Drive in there with our BU. Some VDV squads behind to push up with. Helicopter. I have no base defense here, by the way. Okay, it's firing from there. Let's try to counter that with like some amount of rockets.
Есть для нас приказы. Выкладывайте. Есть для нас приказы. Подвезти?
Морская.
Нас называют органом Сталина. А мне больше по душе эти
Did
иконы.
not get one. Although I just lost line of sight.
Нас вы были бы
I
следовать.
thought I got one. Too late with my VU here.
Какие будут приказания, сэр?
Really? Now I'll lose line of sight. There we go.
Вам нужна лишняя пара
Go
глаз.
through with that thing. BTR 90 in there. Oh, he shot at my OSAS.
Подвести?
UGC 95.
Подвести? Какие будут приказания, сэр?
Get another backup motor.
Как говорится, хороший разведчик, мертвый разведчик. Баллоны полны, запальники прочищены. Мы готовы, сэр.
J7. My AA is not moving up with me. It's bad.
Почему-то мне кажется,
Resupply our supply truck. He killed a Gru. Very nicely sniped on his end. He's prepping for an attack here on that side. Could be. It's got an MTB back. Come on.
мы попали под обстрел.
Nice.
Вы со мной говорите?
Seen on A.
Доставим на полной скорости. Какие будут приказания, сэр? Что может сделать для вас пехота, сэр? Кого вам надо отвезти? Кого вам
Let's
надо
go over to this side. Because then his CDC can't really shoot at us.
попасть во врага? То и он сможет. Ракета к старту готова, сэр. Выдвигай.
Let's get a T80 UK next. T72 yeah here, just in case.
Человек против стали. История Давида и Голиафа повторяется.
They're spotted.
Если мы можем попасть во врага, то и он сможет. Кто такси заказывал? Человек против стали. История Давида и Голиафа повторяется.
MTV, can you deal with this?
Мы торопимся. Сделаем, что сможем.
Oh, you know what? Fine. Actually, we have this here. Not lose RBU like an idiot over there, though. Another supply truck. Move the Uragan because I just got spotted. Get like a shallow there.
Кого вам надо отвезти?
Fly you.
Готовы дать залп, сэр. Подвезти? Кого вам? Готов взрывать танки, сэр.
Resupply. There's something there. Oh, that's not nice.
Мы торопимся. Какие будут приказания, сэр?
Smoke off this a bit. Smoke off this a bit. Get a hind actually, for real. You're getting spotted.
Ждем новых приказаний, сэр.
Oh, that's the thing with the CPTU even. It has like a kinetic gun that can just, if he gets in range, actually deal damage to my to my staff, to my BRDM.
Вылетаем. Направляемся к цели. Патроны, топливо.
You back to the fob.
Есть для нас приказ. Кто такси заказывал?
He's attacking there now. Yeah, let's help without TADK, right?
Есть для нас приказ. Да, сэр. Приказы, сэр.
Let's get some more Saperi.
К вашим услугам, сэр. Это будет честный бой, сэр. Или очередная охота на жуков. Зададим им, парни. Капитан и экипаж приветствуют вас на борту.
Said it's a missile Xenony.
Это наше небо.
AA missile.
Отправляемся. Заводи мотор. Ждем новых приказаний, сэр. Все всегда решает пехота и их.
Let's get some more BTR 90s.
Это не моя война. Вы со мной говорите? Отлично, ваш сэр.
Don't get side shot, please. More VDV. Ooh, that was a nice bombing strike from him. What's our year again like? You stay there though, the MTV over there. You try to kill the WC, please. You missed. Great job.
Есть для нас приказ.
Twice.
Готовы, сэр. Есть для нас приказ. Если мы можем попасть во врага, то и он сможет. Вы со мной говорите? Кто такси заказывал? Куда нам надо? Ждем новых приказаний, сэр. Такси заказывали? Ждем новых приказаний, сэр.
Oh shit, I forgot. Come on, you have line of sight there, please. I lost it?
Мы готовы, сэр.
Oh, the smoke is fading. Ah, the smoke is fading, of course.
Готов взрывать танки, сэр. Есть, сэр.
It is horrible. It's horrible. Lucian Dui, yeah, so it's unspec for sure. And we already knew that, but now we know for certain.
Вы со мной говорите? К вашим услугам, сэр. Дайте нам что-нибудь сшить, сэр. Ждем приказаний, сэр. Выкладывайте.
CTC side shot, very nice.
Снаряжение в порядке, инженеры готовы. Это будет честный бой, сэр. Или очередная охота на жуков. Поднимаем задницы, шевелим ногами, вперед!
There's another plane coming in.
Ракеты готовы, сэр.
What's going on in here in the meantime?
Приказать. Отбой.
I'm already in a situation where I can counter cap the 1-pointer again.
Если мы можем попасть во врага, то и он сможет. Взвод построен и ждет приказов. Да, сэр.
You not buy a new motor? I guess that one's dead, I suppose.
Выдвигаемся.
Let's see what we can do there.
Сосредоточиться.
Get like a crew squad, get an MTV squad.
Это не
Not an MTV squad, but a Razvedkva squad in the MTV. See if we can get a vampire shot off there. Oh, it's too far away. For sure, too far away.
Это не моя война. Это не моя война.
They missed a 94% chance. I forgot again. I should stop forgetting about that. They should hopefully be dead. Or not.
Что может сделать для вас пехота, сэр?
Let's see. Oh, the Rosette are dead. There's a missile system here. Oh, manpads. He has manpads there, right? Oh, quite some manpads for though. From Tanker Shasho. That's MI1 there.
Кого вам надо отвезти?
Those they're the manpads. Ugh, this is looking very bad.
Ждем новых приказаний, сэр. Зенитная батарея готова.
He's spotting my BRDM too.
Ждем новых приказаний, сэр.
We have to get back in there.
Есть для нас приказы.
I have 9 minutes left. Not sure if we can. C9 Ace as emergency reinforcement. Right, we down there.
Доставим на полной скорости. Кто такси заказывал?
Wait, oh, he will two-shot me, won't he? Yeah, 21 AP. Rip Reno. Underestimated the 21 AP there.
Это не моя война.
Really out of range?
Передвигаемся на позицию. Кого вам надо отвезти? Поторопимся.
You're not getting resupplied.
Кого вам надо отвезти? Что может сделать для вас?
Фу-фу-фу-фу.
Вперед, парни! Рассредоточиться! Здесь вражеские вертолеты не пролетали? Это не моя война.
Just some rockets for real this time. Genuinely impressed at.
Вам нравится? Полет, сэр.
Oof.
Слушай, что вы хотели? Это наше небо. Передвигаемся на позицию. Лишняя пара глаз, сэр. Отправляемся в указанный квадрат. Ждем новых приказаний, сэр.
MTV. Oh, you're full thingy again. Okay, you're still spotted, and I've not been punished at all for my.
Говорится, хороший разведчик.
I guess I got punished with the T80 UK. Sloppiness of my tank micro.
Подвести? Это не моя роль.
Now I did.
Вам нужен ангел
I guess he just drove with my CDCs, but I didn't. Yeah, he did. I just didn't see it because of my own smoke, or rather because I was so far behind in the forest that I just couldn't spot. So, never mind, I did get punished for my sloppy tank micro. With sloppy, I just mean horrible. I mean, that I'm killing them doesn't really matter much anymore. Anyway, or one of them, I guess, at least.
Такси, такси заказывали? Кого? Оттуда будет лучше видно. Мы устроим там наблюдательный пункт.
CB is in there, of course.
Готовы дать салт, сэр. Свод построен и ждет приказов. И мы можем попасть во врага, то и он сможет.
Oh, there it is.
Всем в бой! Ни шагу назад!
Let's just waste 200 points.
Проверка завершена, к вылету готовы.
What's the plane? Is it a 27? It is a 27. I see 27.
Приказов. Вам нужен ангел-хранитель?
So now we surrender because now we're ahead in points. So the KD doesn't look too as bad as it would otherwise in the end. See? Otherwise it would have been like 2,600 or something? 3,100? See? Now it's look at how close TKD is, man. Or was he just joking here? A lot of Shanshi died. My Jurgen usage was also horrible. That VDV90 though, with the 94% chance I think that it was that it missed. Honestly, I disagree. I think it's actually a pretty good map for Soviets. I just didn't play well at all. Although I guess maybe with I don't know. I feel it hard to I guess Soviets. I think the thing with Soviets, I guess maybe it's not that good after all. Now that I think about it, but I feel like Soviets either prefers really open maps, or alternatively really closed off maps, like nuclear, hell in a very small place, I should say. But I guess these mixes where it's like, you know, like this and Plunging Valley, I guess maybe they don't like. Maybe I guess that is their weakest style of map. Maybe, I don't know. Hard for me to say. I guess I'm just not very experienced with it. This is just honestly probably also the most difficult map out of like the ranked maps. This and Punch Bowl, but I think Punch Bowl is actually more straightforward. I think the hard part here is just you can get much more easily into a huge conquest points disadvantage. Just 2-pointers for each player is just crazy. But that's not what was the issue here in this match. Anyway, I guess we're gonna try again. Punch Bowl is much weirder with that width. I agree with Punch Bowl being weird. But the thing with this map is, for one, there's that huge fucking river in mid. And there's just so many 2-pointers. You prefer Tropic Thunder or Punch Bowl? Now you're a madman. You're a true madman. I love Tropic Thunder doing the Gornos and BTR 90s phase, but it was a short phase. But it was just ridiculously one-sided. The side that did not have the Reverner spawn has such a huge advantage. This is the wrong one. I can't show it, I guess, because I would have to create a lobby or the skirmish thing, the skirmish. That would put me out of the lobby, but yeah, that map is just so horrible. It favored the one side. It was so incredibly unbalanced. And was just so horrible. And if you got pushed out of the town in mid, then you would only be able to come back into the town by crossing like one of 2 or 3 bridges. Like, oh my goodness. And if you were a slow deck on the bad side and your opponent just helo dropped with like 2 Hinds and specialities into your 2-pointer, good fucking luck. As or rather into that into that small town, right in front of a bridge that leads to a town, which is just a complete one-pointer. Then you can just so easily cut that off. Don't say that a river spawn could put Chinese boat cheap ZV in the water. Okay, I guess that's a good point. I mean, actually I never saw the movie. I only saw like snippets of it. And yeah, the map is just... It's not a band that is oh, we actually just had that earlier, that exact song. I don't know why it came up again. It's not on repeat. It's from the Hades soundtrack. It's very good. Do I have it? I have it like on... Yeah, on shuffle. I don't know why it came up again. Oh well, not like it's banned, it's a good song. And I guess I'm the only one switching rank, so I can cancel and show you the map real quick. Let's do a quick discourse. Thunder. Why would anyone get sued over that OST? So okay, this is the good spawn, right? For one, Charlie here is very easily defendable because he has to cross a bridge and there's lots of open field around, so you can quickly see anything coming. Meanwhile, in here, if you sneak something through there, you can relatively easily sneak like into this bush and into the town. There's still some open field, but certainly easier to get into than it is into Charlie. From this side, you can just very easily heal drop here if your opponent doesn't have like any, because to get AA, the AA has to be like here in order to get line of sight, right? And it is enough time to just drop in front of this and then get into the bush here. You can, if you drop something here, then you cut off the access to this one pointer. On the other hand, of course, if I don't do that or something and get pushed out of Echo, yeah, have fun getting back into Echo or getting back into Foxtrot, right? This is just cancer. This is cancer. This is just pure cancer. That's what this map is. Ugh. And in the beta, actually in the beta of Red Dragon, this map had a completely different layout. Like, the zones were, for one, the zones were just different, but on this side and on this side, there were additional spawns. This was kind of similar to Tough Jungle, just a bit smaller. I don't know why they changed it, but it's a horrible map, just horrible. That's all there is to it. I wish you could delete that map. Whenever usually puts a river down in the middle of actually there's no. There's a decent map. Since I'm still the only one searching, I'm just gonna cancel it again. 30th parallel is actually fine. It's not amazing, but out of the big team maps, all the big team maps, this is actually fine. And the reason why this map actually works, despite the river, is relatively simple. So yeah, you see the big fucking river, but maybe you notice that this spawn is very close to the river on this side and far away to the river on that side, and vice versa for the other side. What this means is Foxtrot will actually get here into this area when this side here gets into that area. So basically you can cross the river basically without getting really threatened at all, right? And the same is same for this side here. So the fight doesn't happen over the bridges, it happens past the bridges on each side. Mid is obviously a different thing, but nobody really pushes mid. So that actually makes this map very interesting. And actually work. It's not, again, it's not amazing. Like ideally you'd still have it like, instead of rivers, just no rivers, right? But it still works decently. Compared to many other wargame maps, it's certainly one of the best. Simply because it's actually playable and doesn't have like Crown of Crabs is actually okay, but not great. Heartbreak Ridge is just awful. Final Meltdown and Son of Touche. The jury is still out on that because I have no clue. Floods is awful. Cold War Sea is absolutely dog shit. Courier Rocks is garbage. Amazing Japan is horrible. 30th Parallel works. This is absolute dog shit. Green Mile works, right? There's like 2, maybe 4 good or playable 4v4 maps. It's just... it's actually... Most of the good maps are actually 1 vs 1 maps and 2v2. Although we all know that actually the most played 4v4 map... How is Mason Japan dead? Bad? Okay, you're joking. But the most popular 4v4 map is actually Paddy Field. Like 1 vs 1 and 2v2 definitely have the biggest playable map pool. Like you have Paddy Field. Actually, I very much dislike. Honestly, Hop and Glory is kind of like Tropic Thunder in my opinion, where one side just has a massive disadvantage. Jungle Law is good. Highway is amazing. D-Day is good. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's actually a good map. And honestly, like Snake Pit, Crossroads also work for 2v2, it's just nobody plays it. Bloody Ridge also works very well for 2v2. Plunging Valley even works for 2v2, and Punch Bowl. It's not amazing, but it works. So, yes, Soul is... yeah, I kind of agree. Soul is a bit too... I wouldn't say it's dog shit 2v2, but I think it's a tad too small for sure. And the 3v3 version is a tad too big for 2v2. Why does it matter? You'll never get 8 people together? Oh. I mean, these days... Not very often, but there's often, or like, especially like 2 years ago still. Or I guess 3 years by now actually. There were still a lot of like 4v4 in-houses and stuff that people did. And back when there was like sick clans and shit, and big tournaments, you know. But yeah, of course, these days you don't see these big team games. Not all too often. At least not in an organized manner. Or balanced manner. No, I wouldn't say so. It's one of the worst 2v2 maps. It's obviously best for 1 vs 1, but I think it's still playable in 2v2. What does it matter? I mean, that was great 3. I mean, yeah, it's great 3 years ago, but the game also didn't change in 3 years. That doesn't change the quality of the maps. It mattered back then, so if it mattered at some point, it's good enough. Just because it doesn't matter now anymore doesn't mean it's an irrelevant point. Why haven't they made symmetric maps for 1 vs 1 and 2v2? Well, there's actually some symmetric maps for 3v3. Crossroads and Snakebit is symmetric. But they used to do symmetric maps in European Escalation, and I think some of them got ported over or remade for Island Battle as well. Don't quote me on that. They did use... I don't know why they never did any anymore. I don't know. It got requested many times, but Eugen didn't really care or thought it was... I don't know. They just didn't want to. Thanks, Active Regent. Have a nice day. Or remainder of the day, I should say. Please join the open Tropic Thunder to lobby. 9. Do you know how Eugen value things like medium optics and stabilizers on the tanks in terms of point value? No. Because the thing is, you have to look at this. Some units got balanced by Eugen. Some units got balanced by the few devs on Eugen that at least somewhat knew how the game worked. Some units got balanced by the marshals, not so much towards the end. The marshals being like sort of kind of more or less closely working with Eugen without getting paid but giving them feedback, blah blah blah. That's irrelevant. Towards the end, some of the top players, including me, had influence on it, although we didn't really know until the patch was out what of our feedback was put in or not. For example, it wasn't, I'm not the only one, but I also heavily requested changing Lucian to 10 men. That was also when they had the best Redfor MG, by the way. But the change for 10 men and the MG rebalance that also made their MG comparatively much worse happened in the same patch, I believe. So, you know, they did get nerfed by that, even though I didn't want that. But anyway, some other changes got ignored. You know, nobody really knows how Eugen does things. It's just a shit show. I don't know if he lobbied for 3 Leclercs, but Patton. Okay, there was this one thing, you know, where Patton was like, "Hey, let's buff the Jelly 2 to 3 per card," because that was before Commonwealth was, for a short period, just a couple of patches actually, not that long, pretty bad. Just like it is again bad now, but. He was like, "Oh, let's make the Jelly 2 3 per card to buff Commonwealth," and everyone else was like, "No, that's garbage. Why? It's stupid. It's a horrible idea." And for some reason, Eugen did it. I just, So I mean, yeah, nobody, like, the thing is, it doesn't really work to only if some good players make some good suggestions, right? If you only implement some of them, that might hurt the game more as if you didn't implement any of them, you know? It's just, you give Eugen feedback, and you have no clue whether that makes it into the game or not. Just because you also have to take a look at, consider, and towards the end of Wargame's patching cycle, i.e. late 2016, most, if not all, of the balance patches were done by a single developer who doesn't work there anymore in his free time. If he hadn't worked on it in his fucking free time, we wouldn't have gotten that patch, and the Wargame would have even more balance issues right now than it already does. No, and I have no clue, Rucola. Yeah. Do you have unique MGs? Do you think having unique MG sets was ever a good idea? I think so, yes. In the past, I was a big proponent of MG standardization across the board, meaning to have like 3 or 4 different MGs and just giving everything, which is and giving every MG into one of those categories. But I think these days I'm not as much of a big fan anymore. The dev was FLX, who led the strike and doesn't work at Eugen anymore. Oh, we found a rank game. It's not Little Villain this time. Yeah, but I think this time around I wouldn't want like every MG to have it like completely different stats suddenly or something like that. But oh. Whoopsie. I think part of the problem was the arm reset card was so useless. Kind of, yes. Well, Focus, I don't think had really much of a say in terms of wargames, as far as I understand. And as far as I understand, Focus stopped working with Eugen shortly after Act of Aggression DLC. So all the paid DLCs, I think, was just purely Eugen without like any Focus stuff. Like I remember checking, Focus never made a single tweet about the release or anything of the Wargame DLC that you could buy, right? So, yeah. I don't know if there's, well, maybe I do know, but if it was just contract or some bad blood or anything like that, but they just, you know, stopped working together. I don't know about the deals. I mean, they kind of were cash grab in the sense that yes, they just by the fact that they only got like 2 or 3 patches each, they're clearly not as, you know, balance wise where they should be. But at the same time, I think in the end they were still healthy for the game. Even though I think the balance now is worse than it was before the paid DLC. I think without it, Wargame would be significantly more dead. Although I guess that's maybe more an obvious point. But yeah. I don't even know what I just did with my deployment, dude. These are babies. OSA. Do I only have. Oh, OSA AKs. Screenshot. I guess that's fine. Yeah, sure. Hey, Captain Light. No, Mike, no. Because you gotta see the whole AMX 10 buff and some other Eurocom buffs, they all only happened with the DLC patches. Before Israel, or let alone before Dutch, Eurocom was bad, and it would still not be great to this day. I think Leopard 2A1 was also more expensive. And that was still, you know, basically what I'm saying is, the point just before Dutch DLC, right? Which is where at that point it was Commonwealth and Eastern Bloc basically most considered the strongest nations. It was when mixed decks got nerfed to 45 points. That was, or like, you know, mixed decks were already 45 points. Erics were not in mix anymore. Jaeger were 15 points. No, and some other stuff. Like I said, Eastern Bloc and Commonwealth were meta, but that meta didn't really last for that long because, like, relatively shortly afterwards, Dutch got released, then Israel got released, and many say or consider that meta to be like very stale, very boring, just those 2 top decks. But I genuinely think that if we today went back in time, or like if suddenly the game got patched into that area, or we would have played with that patch for like 3 years, whatever you want to call it, I don't think the meta would be as stale. It was mostly quote unquote stale because it was also only there for a short while, right? Like let's say 3 months after the last patch that Wargame got. Is this me? I don't think it's me, right? OBS says I'm okay. Like 3 months after the last DLC, the meta was still a good amount different than it is now. I mean, yes, you saw what's it called? The DLCs. Yes, you saw Mixed Blue, because that quickly came into meta again with like Israel. But Eurocore was not immediately meta as soon as the AMX 10 buffs came out. Nobody quite realized just how impactful they were until like 1 or 2 months afterwards, right? So some changes, some buffs take time for the community to realize, because this is just such a small community. This isn't like a 500,000 player base game where every little change that has a big impact is immediately discovered. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, right? I'm not saying like this is definitely how it would be, but I have the hunch. Oh, interesting. I have the hunch that if with today's knowledge and such, and today's like armory tool as well to like find hidden stuff, the meta back then would not have been as bad as people make it out to be these days. Also some Legion 90 and stuff.
Повторяется.
I need some smoke for my tongs. What are you shooting at? A BTRTs? Oh, he's... Oh no, is he moving his level 2 M1s there? Also some AMX sons as well. Oh, he's very aggressive there. It's gonna be pretty light on the right. Yeah. That's that dealt with. Smoke this. Move that there.
Есть для нас приказ. Вот построены, ждем приказов.
You get 2-shot by the VDV. Boop.
Есть для нас приказ. Ждем воздушных целей. И вот так, да? Двигаюсь к цели.
I still don't get what DLC has to do with changing non-DLC nations. Well, the DLCs came with a lot of patches, right? And unless you mean something else or responding to something else. I'm only somewhat paying attention. But like, the DLC came with like big patches. The Israel DLC came with a huge patch that changed a lot of armor values for a lot of transports and such. And it also came with all the AMX sense buffs, the +2 RPM, the +1 and 2 armor respectively, right? So without the DLCs, these patches also wouldn't have come. Unless you assume that without the DLCs we still would have gotten patches, which would have been a completely different discussion that I ignored. Or a point that I ignored. I mean, yes, they could still do those patches, but they wouldn't. Just like they wouldn't continue patching Wargame anymore. I mean, yes, if they would these patches, then like if there would be those patches without a DLC, then yes, it would be just Eurocore everywhere and mixed blue and Soviets, I suppose, and the USSR still. Those are still kind of pretty relevant, I suppose. But I don't think that would happen. I don't think Eugen would have, like, yeah, I don't think they would have patched otherwise. Like, why would they, right? It's the same reason why they wouldn't patch afterwards anymore, after like those 1-2 patches after the last DLC. Why would they patch further? They don't need to, since they didn't plan on doing anything else with the game. I'm floating way too many points, dude, because I keep talking about this.
Захожу на цель. Мы готовы, сэр. Какие будут приказания, сэр? Разведчики готовы, сэр.
There's a big gap between the DLC release and when they stopped updating the game. I mean, it was like not even 4 weeks. DLC got released at the start of December, and the last patch was like on the 30th of December. The last patch had any gameplay effects. Let's ignore technical patches.
Повеселимся.
Oof.
Капитан и экипаж приветствуют вас на борту.
Oh, you can still see me.
Готовы.
Oh, I got lucky. I guess somewhat lucky.
Вы со мной говорите?
I would have expected at least one hit, but I guess I would have otherwise not survived that missile.
Хорошо, доставим на полной скорости. Мы готовы, сэр.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying DLC at all. What? So okay, what I'm saying is, right? If okay, I can't do this discussion while playing because I don't want to lose this for obvious reasons. The obvious reason being I want to win. Instead, let's kill this cannon. There's a supply truck. Got a B. The thing with the BV is still gets double tapped by Peace Rhine and so does the B. Another one is just another tank. Oh, he noticed. Actually move up in this. Need another recon there as well.
Вы со мной говорите? Это не моя война.
Basically what I mean is, in my eyes, without a DLC, the game would be at a state of the last patch before Dutch DLC. That's what I mean. Because the main reason why they kept updating the game also past the between Israel DLC and Red DLC is because they obviously wanted to sell the Red DLC. Why would anyone buy the Red DLC if they wouldn't patch between Israel DLC and Red DLC, right? There's no point in patching since they know by that point definitely already they're working on Steel Division 2 that they want to sell.
Что может сделать для вас пехота, сэр? Они нас заметили! Вы что-то заметили?
I shouldn't drive up there. Move up with you a bit. Aha!
Ждем новых приказаний, сэр. Мы готовы, сэр. Проверка
Sure, let's just kill you.
Без нас вы были бы слепы. Это не моя война. Разведчики готовы, сэр. Такси заказывали?
Don't kill me. Don't give me a rest, man! Dude, I'm playing like garbage, dude. I'm playing like garbage here. I should concentrate.
Вы со мной говорите?
I should concentrate.
Подвезти?
It's a Crotal again. I knew a Crotal was there. And still up. Don't look. Oh my god. Oh, Conquer Sam, I need you to hit.
Мы готовы, сэр. Подвезти? Такси заказывали? Какие будут приказания, сэр? Кого вам надо отвезти? Жду приказаний. Отбой.
Okay, this is clear. It's nice.
Есть для нас приказы? К вашим услугам, сэр. Ждем новых приказаний, сэр.
Can you not murder my tongue? Some mortar too.
хороший разведчик, мертвый разведчик. Держитесь крепче, взлетаем.
Also, I believe in you.
Все всегда решает
Yes.
пехота и их ружья. Вылетаем. Проверка завершена, к вылету готовы.
Yushin did not lose rights to Wargame.
Такси заказывали?
It's good rolling, I guess.
Какие будут приказания?
Please don't lose line of sight. Lost line of sight. Ah.
Взлетаем. Ждем воздушных целей. И вот тогда... Хорошо, доставим на полной скорости. Есть для нас приказ?
Was a side shot?
Вы что-то заметили? Без нас вы были бы слепы. Ракета к старту готова, сэр. Хорошо, доставим на полной скорости. Что вам на этот раз нужно? Да, сэр. Мы готовы, сэр.
Let's get a year again next.
Как прикажете, сэр. Без нас вы были бы слепы.
Let's resupply you.
Есть для нас приказ. Без нас вы были бы слепы. Это не моя война. Какие будут приказания, сэр?
Get in range. What the
Что может сделать для вас пехота, сэр? Да, сэр. К вашим услугам, сэр. Как говорится, хороший разведчик, мертвый разведчик. Развертываемся там. Как говорится, хороший разведчик, мертвый разведчик. Мы устроим там наблюдательный пункт.
Okay, slowly going back into the game because I'm starting to actually concentrate on it. Okay, he's resupplying his stuff there. It's interesting. Let's shoot like 2 or 3 rounds in there just to keep him stunned, to stop him from repairing, to annoy him. That's all. Like, maybe it's not the right call since we now give away that we have a year again.
Заводи мотор, водитель. Выдвигаемся.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Вы что-то заметили?
Quite interesting indeed.
К вашим услугам, сэр.
Hello, Crotal. Bye, Crotal.
Построиться! Шагом! Марш!
Hello, Vab. Probably empty.
Это не моя война.
Oh no, it wasn't. You can see that by the XP bar. For one, you saw it gain 1 bar and then like a lot more bars as well. But also just simply the total amount of XP it got. You have to actually push there now.
Жду приказаний. Отбой.
Okay, let's get you out.
Хотите услышать Катюшу?
This out and that.
Это не моя война. Выкладывайте.
Sure, let's use our whole salvo that we have.
Выкладывайте.
Split you up. Oh. Let us... Oh, stat. But we should now be able to use our MTV over there.
Что может сделать для вас пехота, сэр? Вы со мной говорите? Какие будут приказания, сэр?
Town.
Хороший разведчик, мертвый разведчик. Проверка завершена. К вылету готов.
Oh, I shouldn't do that. He also has a Roland there. I forgot about a Roland.
Они.
Yeah, that was just horrible play. I knew about a Roland and I forgot about it. Oh, that's a 2F dead 2A4. It's a 2A1. OP tactic, kind of broken. Honestly, pretty broken.
Такси заказывали?
Oh, interesting.
Оттуда будет лучше видно.
You're spotted and got fired up. Get a CV on this side.
Все всегда решает пехота и их ружья. Да, сэр. Вы со мной говорите?
Let's get like some shallows there. Just because they're shallows.
Почему это всегда мне достается?
Some Legion 90, I believe.
Вы со мной говорите?
Oh, well, very nice.
Огонька, сэр. Какие будут приказания, сэр? Что может сделать для вас пехота, сэр? Подвезти? К вашим услугам, сэр. Проблемы?
Just only attack move like with
Все
that turned on, so they
пехота и их ружья.
only stop when something that can, not only when a vehicle they can fire at is in range. No infantry, so not a Legion 90 squad. It's a Jeep CV, so they will just ignore the infantry that is there. Once it's just drive up there with you.
Мы готовы, сэр. Проблемы? К вашим услугам, сэр. Хорошо, доставим на полной скорости.
Don't want to resupply you.
Нам приказать. Отбой. Чего ждем, салаги? Завтраков в постель.
Once get a tier UK for Gregory. Gives us a heavy tank and a CV. Rasmus subscribing from what Wargame could have been for 5 minutes starts winning like it's not.
Есть для нас приказы.
I mean, kind of. Let's fire in there with our year again.
Стволы. Огонь по Это
Best and most viable collision power armor deck in a 1 vs 1. Mixed decks, yeah, are certainly up there. On Taunt works well. Eurocore doesn't. I mean, it is kind of does, but in general, Redfor decks just don't benefit as much because usually Redfor decks have like lower accuracy, but gain the oddloader as an advantage. Blue 4 you generally don't have those types of tanks. And the main advantage you get is accuracy out of veterancy, right? That said, you obviously, ideally, and the other things, and as such, for one, Redfor tanks, but also like medium tanks, because medium tanks also tend to have lower accuracy. So that's why T80, 84As, you know, are such. Low 84A get basically super heavy accuracy, but that's a different story. I like the big, mostly used tanks and armored. It's honestly, most of the time doesn't really depend on your tanks. Most of the time it depends on your supporting units you get, right? So in mixed you get the great infantry, you get the meat shields, you get some good mortars, you get the AA, right? Good recon tab, especially recon tab is so crucial. So yeah, so the mixed decks, of course, because you have such a wide variety of choices that you will fill all the gaps. Check armor is best. Blue Dragons definitely also get some nice choices, but the main thing is they lose the short arrow, but they have some good infantry with the K200. Is it the K200, the 5-pointer with 2 MGs? And some good line infantry with that. They get the K1, which is great. Kyumarushiki. Because the thing is, when your tank is on veteran or elite, it also is stunned for for a lower time. Unfortunately, the thing with Blue Dragons is, unfortunately, their tank between the K1 and the Kyumaru, which is the K1A1 is the only tank there, is honestly pretty bad. Well, not bad, but just you know, it's the only tank available, and it's not particularly good, because for that price 18 armor is bad, because at 18 armor you get double tapped by Peace Rhine, and you don't want that. Really, like coalition wise on Blue 4, it's like they're fine. Like Eurocurse still is fine because you get, for example, Panzergrants, you still get your USSR, you get your Rolands, your Gepards. But your tanks don't really benefit a whole lot. Your medium tanks aren't like that great that they would benefit, and anything below like a Leopard 2A1 is just so that not even armored makes them like great, you know? On like UK and Commonwealth can be fun, but you know, unspec they're already pretty bad. Armor doesn't make them much better either. Although I have to admit I like playing armored a bit, because like veteran M41s as fire support is kind of fun, but these days just also too weak. I don't know if I'm forgetting something here, but Blue 4 coalitions is armor is just yeah, US armored is kind of fun. But then you lose, like, why do you play USA, right? You lose the longbow, you lose the Patriot. Was it a side shot on Leopard 2? I think it was. And the Abramses, they're already so accurate. Again, you don't gain that much. But you still get like, yeah, but I mean, you're not wrong. You still get like the rifleman spam, you still get a hawk that you want, you get the pivots. The plane tab is obviously exactly the same. But you don't get a dab, which is a big deal. Dab is a big deal, the longbow is a big deal, Patriot is a big deal. But yeah, for most coalitions you get you're weaker by playing armored. It's mainly mixed decks that are great. And on Redfor, like I said, on Taunt, Eastern Bloc armored is kind of fine because the Moderna and the Wilks, they benefit quite a bit. Soviet armored can be fun, although I wouldn't suggest using it in 1 versus 1s. Losing those MTVs and such is pretty annoying, I would say. But I played it a bit in thing. But you were saying 1 versus 1. I guess actually Dutch German could be nice, because you get the Stotrippen still in mech. Your AA basically doesn't change unless you like the real Roland, you know. You get the AMX 13s. So I guess when it comes to, you know, the nations that benefit the most on Blue 4 or coalitions that aren't mixed, I guess maybe Dutch German might be the one. I'll just keep in mind that the recon leopard doesn't benefit at all since in the recon type. Did I just absolutely this? Oh, poor leopard 2A1. I think you might also still get the. Do you still get the escort in armored? You might. You get it in mech. I assume you. I assume you get it in armored still. You probably lose the TD, but nobody cares about the TD. Obviously, the big loss is the recon tiger as well. But you still obviously get your Marder 2s. Get your Dutch. Basically, you lose Cope Marinier 95, which depending on whether you like them or not is a big deal or not. I really like them. Oh, those poor Rolands. Oh, those. And there's the CV. Ah, not the CV. Ooh, you're gonna die. Oh, he missed one. How unlucky. It's really unlucky.
Вылетаем. Вы со мной говорите?
Oh, he's driving this one. He's gonna be fast enough, yeah.
Надеюсь, там не будет вражеских зениток.
It's a Crutal.
Дайте нам координаты цели. Капитан и экипаж приветствуют вас на борту.
No, Marines. I mean, like their names say, they're Marines, so. No, you don't get them in armored.
Вам нужен ангел-хранитель?
I mean, yeah, the transport is also not armored, but the infantry itself is also. You have to look at both the infantry and the transport. Right? For some infantry squads, the transports come in, let's say, armor or something, but they themselves not at all. So.
Капитан и экипаж.
Oh, that's the wrong plane. I meant the 25T. Go and shoot at this. Go shoot at the Legion 90. Honestly disappointing compared to a A10 when it comes to the infantry damage. Ah! How could you? Well, the Rafale is a one-shot now. I just need to hit once and it's dead. Oh, rip. Oh, yeah, there's a Roland there.
Есть для нас приказы?
Oh, you're spotted.
Какие будут приказания, сэр? Есть, сэр.
Hey, don't shoot at my TADK with your mortars. IRL Marines turning to Armed Forces 2. Armed Forces 2. I mean, yeah, that's also why it's like the only Marines with a proper tank, right? With the HC Abrams. And IRL obviously doesn't just get 3 HC Abrams or something. Some things are just hard to model in this game, of course. But, you know, that's fine. I kind of sometimes get annoyed when people try to have this as realistic as possible. I feel like Wargame has a really good balance between realism and gameplay. And like Steel Division, just without trying to bash it or anything, just personally speaking, just goes too far in the realism direction, or tries to go too far into the realism direction. Some people even say that it is less realistic, but I'm not someone who can judge that at all.
Вам нравится полет, сэр?
Like, you know, I've said it 1,000 times before. like remove the skins, the models from Wargame, replace them with like I don't care what you want unicorns, and you still have like a good RTS behind it. Not obviously not an amazing one. There's just, you know, objectively speaking, some maybe not so great decisions, but you still have a good RTS behind it. And personally speaking, when you do that with Steel Division, it's just straight up worse. But you know, not everyone plays it for the gameplay. Some people play it, you know, for, I don't know, the atmosphere, or just, you know, historical reasons, because they like this, you know, World War II, Cold War. You know, it's fine by me. I'm not telling people. I'm not telling people what they should or shouldn't enjoy. Is that right?
Вы со мной говорите?
Just, you is not in cover, but if I move it out of the forest now, it will be spotted.
Вы со мной говорите?
B, now you're still damaged. You're gonna die, or not? Or not?
Мы готовы, сэр.
Or not?
Да, сэр. Держитесь крепче, взлетаем.
Scratch it. Oh, look at this. Oh no, I won. GG. Right, Soviets are done. I'm not a huge fan of the. I find the Steel Division 2 UI much better. I really disliked the first Steel Division's UI. The second one is. A lot of people find the second one worse. I actually find it better. What I just hated about the first one was like you got like the whole fancy like symbols for hotkeys and stuff, right? Like Steel Division 2 may be really bland, but I'd rather have a bland one that is just functional than the fancy one like Steel Division 1 where you had like for every unit you had like a soldier icon on the right. I'm like, I don't care about this shit, it just takes up space, you know? I'd much rather have it just have the hotkeys say what they're doing, like in Wargame. Of course, Wargame has like this kind of aesthetic, like, you know, this thing, and it kind of looks fine. And Steel Division 2 is just black. But I still prefer that over what I did in Steel Division 1. But a lot of people disagree with that. But Steel Division 1 I just really disliked. And like, another nice thing is, I think they changed it in Steel Division 2 recently with one of the patches. But like in Steel Division 1, you couldn't just... You only had like the unit symbols, right? You couldn't just instead only have like the unit names like I can do in Wargame right here. You have so many customization options in Wargame. And then in Steel Division you only have these fucking symbols. That's something that I really was annoyed by. There are games that think, yeah, exactly, more realistic games aren't about balance, because as if they're trying to be really realistic, they're starting to become like simulation things. But for Steel Division and Wargame as well, on the one hand they're trying to be quote unquote realistic in a certain sense, but then they're still patch the game balance wise. So what do you want? Do you want balance or realism? Because in real life it wasn't balanced. And like I said, I think Wargame strikes a good middle. It's like kind of like as, you know, as how do I put that? Just as much realism as possible without like getting into the face of balance, you know? Obviously it's not perfect by any means, but like it's just a solid base. Yeah, exactly, it's authentic but not realistic. It's an important distinction. I agree. Yeah, the minimap is quite and none than when I said it in the past, and I'm starting to agree on that the longer I think about it over the past years, or I don't think about it, but whenever I remember it, that maybe Eugen just got lucky when they made Wargame, right? If you look at AOA and kind of Steel Division, depending on how you look at it, maybe they just got lucky with creating a good game such as Wargame. Well, is this just... 1 second, let me just... I don't know, I mean, how many of us would have bought Wargame whether an AE, LB, or a Dragon if it was about aliens? I get your point. Like, the only reason why I'm in Wargame is because a friend of mine back in 2013 quote-unquote forced me to buy Airland Battle. I hated it, but he kept getting me to play, and after like 40 or 50 hours I started to actually enjoy it. I mean, otherwise, if it wasn't for him getting me into it, I probably would have never touched this game at all. Alright, let's update the epic graphic. USA. USA. God bless America. And it's not USA. What am I talking about? USSR. And boop. They probably will make another Wargame, if I had to guess. But yeah, that is a big question. Do they try to continue on from Wargame, or like the mechanics wise from the Red Dragon, or will they start doing it like a Steel Division 2 continuation, or will they do a mix, right? Because if they start doing the like one-shot mechanics and whatnot, gonna be a tough sell for me, at least just based on that. But I just much more like the HP system, not realistic. You know, I'm not gonna argue about that, but gameplay wise, it is just, in my opinion, a lot better than these one-shot mechanics. I mean, Steel Division engine is the same engine as Wargame, just evolved. Okay, what's the next deck? What shall be the next deck? Since we talked about Dutch Germany, let's do Holland, or the Netherlands. But I think the hashtag is it Holland? It is, or HOL I should say. Yeah, they have some hidden HP system, but don't they still have one-shots? Isn't it like, if you pen, one-shot, but if you don't, but still let you deal damage or something? Doesn't it work like that? I don't know. It's just, I found it so... one-shot mechanic in Wargame with side shots, so yeah. This is another thing that just baffles me. Wargame was like known for like shit ton of hidden mechanics, and then they make even more hidden mechanics in Steel Division. I'm like, you should not learn? I mean, I'm not saying they should display everything on thing, but like, for example, when I have either make there like a button that says show detail stats or something, or make it like when you hover over the rate of fire, it shows you the exact, burst length or whatnot, or like make it a toggleable option so that you only get all these detailed stats only if you want it, like, so they don't overwhelm like new players, right, who don't even understand how they work. But like showing even less and not even telling the players, right? Like a lot of the hidden mechanics HP stuff, wasn't that discovered by someone just modding the game and checking the files and whatnot? It just baffles me. It just baffles me. All right. Like I said, I really like Core Meridian 95. They're so great for town fighting. They wanted to add more RNG into the game, force players to adapt on the go, maybe. I don't know. I think the reason they added like these one-shot and RNG mechanics is just because they found it more realistic. I don't know. We don't get any proper ATGMs. We only get these dragon squads, which aren't too great, really. But that's a bit annoying. I should probably start with this first, actually. We get this thing, which is okay. 2 front and 2 side, so only the rear and the top get full HE damage. Level 1 CV though is also good, and you only get 4 of that, which is actually really nice. So I think I'm gonna take that because it only has 2 top and 2 rear, 3 side and 8 front. Is nice. And medium optics and a kinetic gun means it can defend itself if like a BTR 80A or something, or a BTR 80 drives past. My theory is that all developers hide things because there's... I mean, yes, some things are of course always hidden. But I think it also depends on like what kind of game it is, right? If it's a multiplayer game, then these things are very important. If it's a single player game, that's less important, I would argue. And it also depends like to what extent what is hidden, right? If you know, for example, sorry for going like a bit off the rails here. For example, the Leopard 2 and the Challenger 2, just take these two tanks. The Challenger 1, and the Challenger 2 as well, I think, but at least the Challenger 1 turns a small bit slower, turret, I think both turret and hull, at least hull, maybe only hull, than the Leopard 2, for example. That is interesting to know, but like, if that is hidden, that is not really a big deal, right? But the fact that, for example, Luja and Dui have the exact same MG sets than Mordschützen, that is a big deal, right? Because they cost the same. But, you know, the MG actually being the exact same, you know, that's like... Some things are fine if they're hidden, of course. And there's probably a lot of hidden things that nobody really still knows yet, of course. But it just, especially like with burst length and such of MGs, it has such a big impact. It just... And where's my Holland deck? Alright, we probably want the cut of these YPRs, they're actually kind of nice. Do you want them... Okay, well, we have this done. We definitely want the cut of Grenadiers and 5-pointer. This could spam infantry. We'll definitely cut the stock for them. Now where do we want them? We want them in the AMX. We want them in the YP. Right, the YP is still decent, 2 front armor. Not 2 side, but 2 front at least. Browning. Yeah, excited. It's also what I'm thinking. Just make it like toggable or something. Or even, or you know, or go into the menus and have a checkmark for show detailed stats on unit cards or something like that. But just, especially when they're so important, like the HP mechanic in Steel Division or something, like that's just crazy impactful. I mean, we already have Wheel Recon in here. Let's take one of them in like this track, then I want a 5-pointer. And like Stinger. I think we want Stinger. We don't care about the garbage ATGM squad. Do we want the Lance? Sure, let's go for the Lance. Lance is fun. Let's go for the Yotzog because why not? I usually prefer this one, but you know, let's spice it up a bit. If 5-point sheet, that's actually not too bad. It's like a Gepard A1, but you trade 10% accuracy, but lose the stabilizer. It can sometimes be nice, the extra accuracy, sometimes you're really annoying, of course. 2A5, 2A4L, 2A1L, AMX 13. Centurion isn't particularly good because for the same price, sure you lose 6 armor, but you get such a high rate of fire here. And the speed is really awful there as well, it's not a tank worthwhile using. The Leopard ones, obviously, they're just falling out of favor. One card of KCT in the UH that's really useful to have. Recon Leopard, of course, is nice. I really like this thing here. It's basically Hachinana for 5 points less, but worse side armor and 5% less accuracy, but same rate of fire. I usually don't use this much, but since we don't have like a Tiger or something to put in, you know, just a Recon Hilo for good measure, and now I have only one card of Recon Infantry, which isn't great, so let's skip this. You begin in the cut of Husaren just for that cheap. You can also go KCT in the YP, it's also certainly very valid. I just like having like a very cheap, just pure Recon. Here nothing is too great because this is fine. It fires, I guess it fires 2 missiles. You can also see it on the model. 2 missiles in a row and then has to reload for 10 seconds. This would be actually not too bad, but the problem here is it fires 1 missile and then has to reload for 5 seconds. So that's just annoying. I mean, they probably would do like DLC things and stuff. Well, I wouldn't mind, because I think Steel Division is also getting more patches than Wargame's DLC got. The question is just less, I think, would they do DLCs and patch? It's just how would they patch? Would they actually listen to players who know what they're talking about or not? Because it sounds like they still don't really do that, but I don't know really. MLUS ASF, of course, is the only one with long range missiles. OCU on elite, although we should probably done with it since we don't get a peace run here. F-104G is a good helo hunter. This is not too bad of a cluster plane. It's not very survivable, it's cheap. You get 4 of them and it has 5 cluster bombs. I think it's better than this one because also you only get 2 here. And just, you know, it's not a great AG bomber. It's worse than the ADS because it has less ECM. Better turn radius is irrelevant, but at least it's like an AG bomber, and even if it's not a great one, they can still be nice to have. Quite amount of Swedish strike team has. I know what that is because I used to be part of a strike team, if you remember. So you have to put, well, I'll just put it the ridiculous rifle thing because someone asked about it earlier. Also, this is much. I'll show you in just a second. It's also much better, and you know, just a TD because why not? All right, it's gonna be our deck. Because someone was asking about the ridiculous rifle things in the Swedish deck. Because this one is actually also much better because compared to these, it has 1 step more range, which is a very, very big deal, right? Obviously this one has 14 AP and mine has only 12, but the range especially is very, very important. Alright, let's go. If I manage to actually select it, and I'll be back in just a minute. Surprise, surprise, I come back and still no ranked game. Better at Iraq as a nation so I can use guns, okay. Oh yeah, ridiculous rifles aren't really that accurate, I know. There's a lot of things that aren't very accurate, but who cares. Even top players problem would cringe at their own balance suggestions from years ago. True, partially. I think most of the stuff that I suggested in the end of 2016 or early 2017, for the most part, still holds. Not all, of course. Oh yeah, I know, Alfonso. The 1991 mod, for example, gives him also significantly more AP. Oh, Mike, but cheer, by the way. I remember, I think it was in 2015. I think Nanda was on the forum, said something about the Gazelle cannon, and I quoted Nanda and said to him that the Gazelle cannon is absolute dog shit. Hold up. It should be pretty easy to find. One sec. Oopsie. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is Rachel? Where is she? Come on, where's the thing? I could have sworn it's so easy to find. Zell, maybe? Whatever. Maybe, I guess it's not easy to find. Oh yeah, SAS one-shotting planes because veterancy effect, or veterancy or training, I don't remember, affected your, or had the damage multiplier with it. Favorite DOS 2, probably the remake of that one song from DOS 1, Power of Innocence. Yeah, the Chillicos are pretty sad. One thing about balance. Yeah, well, okay, that's one. Yes, Coltrane, I agree. I think that's the issue with recon units, for example. I think that's the most noticeably seen on recon units, right? For example, putting stealth on something like a recon jeep, whatever. Putting stealth on a PT-76, okay, interesting, makes unit, you know, pretty decent. Putting stealth on like a proper medium tank, putting stealth on an attack helicopter, and suddenly, oh yeah, you know. I mean, optics is still kind of fine, right? If the 84AN had only optics and no stealth, it would still be strong, but like not as bullshit anymore, right? It's the stealth that really causes the issues on a lot of problematic units. Most notably recon tanks and the Tiger. Like the stealth is annoying on a K-52, but obviously not as big of a deal because it only impacts like either radar AA to a certain extent, or the Igla or helicopters, right? Fane's theme, if I can find it really quick in the playlist. Was that Fane's theme? Symphony of the Void? No, that's a combat theme. This one? I think that's Fane's theme, right? Oh, hey, Raz here. Is it actually Esmo sign? This is not Esmo sign. It's not the real Esmo sign, is it? Unless he's on a different account. It's Karagoth! It's fucking Karagoth? Hold on a second, dude. At least the Steam account is called Karagoth. Maybe someone else called the Steam account Karagoth. Hold on there. Am I being bamboozled? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what is this? What is this? I'm like, hold on, Esmo sign around this time? It's like, what, 7 AM or something in China? This is a faker? Yeah, he was in chat, I saw that briefly. I think he's stream sniping. There's a lot of points actually that I'm using here. Some more to go for now. I'm not sure if it's really Karagoth. I don't think Karagoth. The thing is, I don't think if it's really Karagoth. I've never seen a replay where Karagoth was using a different name. I mean, the rank would check out. I mean, we can check afterwards, but this is interesting. Hey, someone who has the game open, check the Major General ranks for Karagoth and see if you're seeing Karagoth there. I guess I'm ready. Okay. Oh boy. Alrighty.
Positie veranderen. Start de motor. Luchtverdediging opstelling hernieuwen. We zijn op weg.
F-15A Eagle. Stunned him. Evac ordered. Let's get another one. I think I've seen him play some weird US version, but we'll quickly see via his playstyle if it's truly Karagoth. I think 156, 158 would be cool. Maybe he's now started changing his nickname just to because he had enough of all the quote-unquote Rasman alts. Oh, there we go. There we fucking go. Okay.
Snelheid is leven. Our way to the danger zone. Heeft u het tegen mij?
Oh, I see. I didn't turn it off fast enough. Oh my! I'm getting healer rushed. I'm not gonna unload you just yet. Not a seaplane. I should have loaded it into this transport here. I wonder if you even realized I kept this briefly. Smoke of like here. And the stinger missed. Very cool. I don't have enough. I'm not gonna survive this. Hey, hey, hey. I don't have any fucking more. I don't have any more specs, dude. Oh, I killed something here. What did I kill there? A Jeep CV. What the hell? I lost my transport here now. Yeah, jokes on you. I have no suitable AA anymore. I think going for the escort is probably a mistake, actually. He said it's an F-15A Eagle. Yeah. There are a lot of ammo. That seed, but I don't care about that seed. Get a supply truck with a stinger. Stinger in the thing there. Oh shit, no! No! No, 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 no! Oh, I can't believe I lost to the thing. Oh no, you stayed. Hello, Stinger. Oh, you're down there on the low ground, huh? Hey, hey, hey. I have no fast CV either. I think I still have to. I think I still have to get this though. Oh, he's scared. He's scared. Dude, the rate of fire of the scavenging. After the failure. Oh my god, how bad you have to. This was that was your game to lose, dude. How can you lose this? How can you lose this? I shouldn't have won that. I should not have won that, dude. Oh my god. I shouldn't. I should. Well, there you have it, Karagoth. You played versus me. You happy now? Oh my god. He's the alt account now, right? Oh, dude, just. Oh my god. Like, at that point, it's just. Yes, that was Karagoth. That was not Esmosine. That was not Esmosine. Does anyone. Hold up. Does anyone here have a Karagoth replay at hand? Hold up, I think let me actually check. It is him, yeah, I think so too, but I just want to make 100% certain. Yeah, what's his? There's a replay of him. Check the ID. Something. Yep, it is Karagoth, for sure. How can you fuck up a healer rush? How can you fuck up cheese like that? Well, this count as a. I guess this. Okay, chat, does this count as a Dutch win or should I play Dutch again? Again, okay. But I'll probably call it. Let's watch replay and then I'm gonna call it for today, though. I think. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna play one more today. I think. Yeah. But I'll next stream, you know, first deck is Dutch. This isn't airborne though. Is it? Isn't the F-15A? It's coming on veteran on default, and this is veteran. But he upvets all his helos. Why don't you just play airborne? This isn't airborne, this isn't an airborne, is it? No, it's not. Is it? It's unspec, for sure. He could have won so easily. Dude, that was also pretty close here, but not close enough. This actually annoys me. You get spotted at the same time, but it just insta-stuns me because it has such a short aim time. And I mean, I guess if whether I unloaded or not wouldn't have made a difference in the end. Yeah, I checked the ID. Karagoth changing the nickname to fucking Esmus sign. Make me think I'm playing against Esmus sign. Well, I guess you can't accuse me of like... It was your game to win, dude. Oh yeah, I'm so glad I brought stingers, dude. Surprised you didn't misspell it. This is just fucking... Optical failure. I don't think the crit was important, but it might have been. It might have been important. It depends on whether the next shot would have hit front or side. I think it would have hit front. So I think it would have still been good, but in any case, it was just... Oh my god. Well... Alright, well, that's it for the stream today already, but I'm gonna do a bit shorter today. But I might stream again tomorrow, if not, probably at some point in the next few days. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed especially that last game. Since there's no unanimity in the chat, I'll just play Dutch again next time. I think it's also just better for showcasing. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you next time.